Daily Devotionals for August 27th. Today I want to read out of Philemon and specifically verse 15 and 16, but since it's such a short book, I just want to address the whole thing. Paul begins writing his letter from prison, and he identifies himself as a prisoner of Jesus Christ, and he brings Onesimus, the prior slave, alongside him as a brother in Christ, okay? And the whole story here is restoration of Onesimus back to his previous owner, Philemon. So the point is, Philemon was a wealthy man in Colossus, and one of the men who was his slave, became rather unworthy. He was a thief and apparently stole from him, and he ends up in prison with Paul. Well, of course, Paul sees redemption in the man, and he leads him to the Lord. And so there's a whole process taking place here. And now he's writing to Philemon saying, you take him back, okay? You take him back and you trust him. He is a brother. I want to read in verse 15 and 16. For perhaps he departed, meaning Onesimus, for a while for this purpose, for redemption, that you might receive him forever, if no longer a slave, but more than a slave, a beloved brother, especially to me, and how much more to you, both in the flesh and in the Lord. So he's, it's really a story of redemption, restoration, forgiveness, and a reconciliation. So this is what he is also saying. He said in verse 17, count me as a partner, receive him as you would receive me. And then if there's any wrong done, that Paul would pay for it himself. So is that not what Christ did for us? He redeemed us, right? He forgave us of our sin. He redeemed us from the law, and, he paid the price. He paid it forward. Here Paul is saying, if he messes up again, whatever, if he owes you a debt, I'll pay it. So, it's a real story of reconciliation, redemption. And how many times, we have been in the same place as Onesimus was, okay? Should we also not be in the same place as Paul, where we have a brother or sister that has fallen short but turned their life around? Should we not help them to be restored to a place of victory, to a place of fitting back into society, back into the church, back into ministry? None of us are without sin, okay? So we've been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb. So we should be helping one another instead of putting them down. Help restore them, help bring them back up. As Paul said here, he saw him, he was a prisoner. Paul was a prisoner, and so was Onesimus, but he counted him as a brother, a fellow in Christ, okay? All right, till next time, be blessed.